On March 13, 2013, the world witnessed a historic moment. The election of the first Latin American Pope, the first Jesuit to occupy Peter's throne, and the first to choose the name Francis. His simplicity, closeness to the poor, and message of mercy quickly won over believers around the world. But who is Jorge Mario Bergoglio? How did his youth and journey shape the leader of the Catholic Church in modern times? Born in Argentina to a family of Italian immigrants, Bergoglio had an ordinary youth. He worked, studied, and even experienced a period of estrangement from faith before feeling the call to the priesthood. His path within the Society of Jesus led him to become an influential leader in the Argentine church, facing political and social challenges, eventually leading him to the papacy. In this video, we will explore his entire life, from his early years to his leadership in the Catholic Church. Stay until the end to understand how his personal history is reflected in his actions as Pope. Jorge Mario Bergoglio's youth took place during a time of great change in Argentina and the world. Born in 1936, he grew up during the Second World War in a country that, despite its official neutrality, was influenced by the ideological currents of the time. Peronism was emerging as a dominant force in Argentine politics, promoting greater state participation in the economy and creating tensions between conservative and popular sectors. The Argentine Catholic Church was undergoing a period of transition, dealing with the growth of lay movements and new pastoral approaches. The arrival of the Second Vatican Council would bring profound changes to the Church worldwide, encouraging greater openness to dialogue and social engagement. This context would deeply influence Bergoglio's religious and intellectual formation, preparing him for his future leadership. During this period, Argentina was also experiencing economic and political instability, with cycles of growth and crises that directly affected the poorest population. This challenging environment helped shape the compassion and social commitment that would define Bergoglio's vocation. Being the son of Italian immigrants, he grew up in a simple and deeply religious home. During his youth, he worked as a chemical technician before entering the seminary. In a pivotal moment of his life, a severe lung infection led to the removal of part of one of his lungs, an experience that brought him even closer to faith and the call to the priesthood. In 1958, he joined the Society of Jesus, an order known for its discipline and emphasis on education. He was ordained a priest and, over the following decades, took on positions of great responsibility within the order, eventually becoming the provincial superior of the Jesuits in Argentina a few years later. During this period, he faced the challenges of Argentina's military dictatorship, seeking to protect seminarians and priests persecuted by the regime. After a time away from leadership positions due to internal conflicts within the order, Jorge was appointed auxiliary bishop of Buenos Aires. His pastoral approach and dedication to the poor drew attention, leading to his appointment as archbishop shortly thereafter. As archbishop, he refused privileges, choosing to live in a small apartment and use public transportation, demonstrating a life of humility and service. In 2001, he was made a cardinal by Pope John Paul II. His discreet demeanor and dedication to the less fortunate became hallmarks of his ministry. In the following years, he actively participated in debates on social justice and church renewal, paving the way for his future election as Pope. After the resignation of Pope Benedict XVI, the conclave gathered to elect a new pontiff. Cardinal Bergoglio was seen as a strong candidate, as his humble stance and commitment to the most needy reflected the Church's desire for renewal. On March 13, 2013, he was elected the 266th Pope of the Catholic Church, adopting the name Francis, in reference to Saint Francis of Assisi. From the beginning of his pontificate, Francis emphasized the importance of simplicity, mercy, and dialogue. He rejected many of the Vatican's luxurious traditions, choosing to live in the Casa Santa Marta instead of the Apostolic Palace. Additionally, He implemented reforms in the Roman Curia, seeking transparency and the fight against corruption. As Pope, he also became an active voice on social and environmental issues, publishing the encyclical Laudato Si in 2015, where he emphasizes humanity's responsibility to protect the environment. Facing both internal and external challenges, Francis continues his mission to transform the Church and reinforce its role as a defender of the poor and needy, faithfully following the principles of humility and service that have marked his journey. Pope Francis's pontificate has been a milestone in the history of the Catholic Church. His commitment to the poor, his fight for social justice, and his vision of an open and welcoming church resonate worldwide. Since his election, he has challenged traditions and promoted a spiritual renewal aimed at bringing the church closer to the realities of the 21st century. Francis has addressed global issues such as migration, climate change, and social inequality. Nevertheless, his message of mercy and fraternity continues to inspire millions of faithful, reinforcing the need for unity and solidarity among people, regardless of religious or cultural differences. At the time this video is being produced, Pope Francis is hospitalized due to health issues. We are united in prayer for his recovery and the strengthening of his mission. If you enjoyed this content and want to follow more stories like this, don't forget to like this video, share your opinion in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. This helps us continue bringing more content about the history of the Church and its great figures. See you next time.